I'm sorry, I talked over you, Mel.
We will just bring you to a shot of Chris Hayes, the returning officer for the ALP, who is about to give us some information.
Very good. Right, Roscoe. I can just can advise you that the Prime Minister, seconded by the Deputy Prime Minister, have just moved a spill motion in the caucus. Therefore, all leadership positions of the Deputy Prime Minister as well as Prime Minister were declared vacant. I call for nominations. I received one nomination for the position of Leader of the Parliamentary Labor Party, and that was Julia Gillard. I then called nominations Deputy Leader, and I received one nomination, which was Wayne Swan. So both were duly elected, unopposed, and unanimously by the Parliamentary Caucus.
Did anyone speak afterwards? Did anyone speak afterwards?
Yes, Simon Crean was speaking, but I thought it was appropriate to come out and tell the media firsthand what just occurred.
What was the Prime Minister speak at all?
The Prime Minister hadn't spoken by the time I was in there.
So when you say it was unanimous, there wasn't actually votes cast?
There was no votes against. No.
Was Kevin Rudd in the room?
To the best of my recollection, he was.
Did Kevin Rudd speak to the caucus?
No, he didn't.
Did you hear anything of what Simon Crean said?
No, I didn't.
Should the Labor Party apologise to victims of forced adoption practices for ruining the national apology?
Well, I want to talk to you about what just occurred in the caucus.
Did anything else happen in the caucus?
Sorry?
Does it strike you as a bit of a farce? That no one actually, that there was no vote?
Well, I think you know what just occurred. The positions were declared vacant. It was open to anybody in the Parliamentary Labor Caucus who sought to stand for positions to nominate themselves. That just didn't occur.
Is this end to the leadership speculation now? Can Labor now move on and win the election?
I think this puts aside all the instability that's been associated with people's actions around the leadership issue and allows us to focus on moving on towards
Do you
the election.
think it really will put it to bed, though?
Very presence and remaining in the party still add to that destabilisation?
Look, I'm sure he's got a very big role to play within a party. He had an opportunity, as did every other member of the caucus today, if they sought to aspire or take the position of party leader or deputy leader. That just didn't occur.
And what do you think of Simon Crean's role in all of this today?
Look, I conduct the ballots in the caucus, and that's what I just did.
Member. What do you think of that?
Look, I'll hold that till later.
Was there any commentary that, Simon Crean shouldn't have done what he did?
Look, that's up to Simon. I'm sure you guys will talk
But in
to
the
him.
caucus, was there any commentary?
There was no comment about that. As I said, Simon was speaking to the caucus. He was on his feet as I left to brief the media.
And there was no actual vote.
There was no actual vote because there was no opposing candidates.
Chris, in your opinion, does this actually put the leadership question to bed?
James, I think it does. You can't continually have issues of leadership being put out there without people prepared to challenge. That just didn't occur. The positions were spilled. The Prime Minister now has been invited on 2 occasions in the last 12 months. They've put beyond doubt her leadership. She did that, and she has the unanimous support of the Parliamentary Labor Party.
What was the mood in the room? What was the mood in the room?
To be
One
fair,
at a time.
we were in this position almost exactly a year ago. How can the voters believe you?
Well, I can just give you a scoreline. Last time I was out here, you were trying to tell me the vote I gave you was not the actual entitlement.
The point is there was no show of strength for the Prime Minister today, was there, in that point?
Look, all I can do is best say is this: is I conducted a vote, I declared all the positions vacant, and I will take nominations for those who they thought were entitled to actually contest those positions. We only had 2 nominees, one for Prime Minister and one for Deputy Prime Minister.
What was the mood in the caucus room?
Look, I think it's fair to say that the mood was reasonably sombre. These things are difficult. They are certainly an emotional drain on members and senators. They're not things you look forward to, but it's certainly something that I think most people are happy that this has been put beyond doubt.
Can Labor still win the next election?
Sorry?
Can Labor still win the next election?
Of course Labor can win the next election.
How can it still be business as usual?
Because we have a policy framework, things to lay out for people in need, and that's what we're going to get on and do.
How do you think this has affected the public perception of the Labor brand?
Look, that's a matter, I guess that you guys are going to make some commentary on later on, but I think from my perspective, it puts beyond doubt the question of leadership in the Parliamentary Labor Party, and that's what's
counting votes again in a few days or a couple of weeks.
Look, as I say, it puts beyond doubt the issue of leadership in the Parliamentary Labor Party.
What if the polls get worse?
Do you think some of the agitators behind this should vacate their positions? I mean, Simon Crean decided to go to the backbench. What about some of the other people who have been working the numbers behind the scenes?
We are a democratic party. As such, we respect the majority rule, and clearly what I've just told you is the majority. I expect everyone to get behind that now. Thank you, guys.
Thanks, Chris.